And to the crisis in Afghanistan now, the Taliban prepared to stage a parade showcasing some of the military hardware they captured during the takeover of Afghanistan after President Joe Biden defended his decision to end the two-decade war. President Biden addressed the nation to mark the end of America's longest war, and he again defended the decision to withdraw and claimed that a messy exit was inevitable and praised the sacrifice of service members and their families. Again, let's listen in.
The war in Afghanistan is now over. I'm the fourth president who has faced the issue of whether and when to end this war. When I was running for president, I made a commitment to the American people that I would end this war. Today, I've honored that commitment. The war in Afghanistan is now over. I'm the fourth president who has faced the issue of whether and when to end this war. When I was running for president, I made a commitment to the American people that I would end this war. Today, I've honored that commitment. I refuse to continue a war that was no longer in the service of the vital national interest of our people. And most of all, after 800,000 Americans serving in Afghanistan, I've traveled that whole country, brave and honorable service. After 20,744 American servicemen and women injured, and the loss of 2,461 American personnel, including 13 lives lost just this week, I refuse to open another decade of warfare in Afghanistan.
He also addressed the broader global threat from terrorism in places like Syria, Somalia, and Yemen, and from terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda and ISIS. Both terrorist groups are active in Afghanistan. Again, let's listen in.
We will maintain the fight against terrorism in Afghanistan and other countries. We just don't need to fight a ground war to do it. We have what's called over-the-horizon capabilities, which means we can strike terrorists and targets without American boots on the ground, or very few if needed. We've shown that capacity just in the last week. We struck ISIS-K remotely, days after they murdered 13 of our service members and dozens of innocent Afghans. And to ISIS-K, we are not done with you yet. As Commander-in-Chief, I firmly believe the best path to guard our safety and our security lies in a tough, unforgiving, targeted, precise strategy that goes after terror where it is today, not where it was 2 decades ago.
All eyes now will turn to how the Taliban handled their first few days with sole authority over the country, with a sharp focus on whether they will allow free departure for those wanting to leave, including some foreigners. The U.S. has said that under 200 of its citizens remain in the country, and Britain said the number of UK nationals inside was in the low hundreds. Thousands of Afghans who worked with the U.S.-backed government over the years and fear retribution still want to get out. Talks are ongoing as to who will now run Kabul airport, which German Chancellor Angela Merkel warned was of existential importance as a lifeline for aid. Qatar, meanwhile, urged the Taliban to ensure safe passage for people still desperate to flee. Many Afghans are terrified of a repeat of the Taliban's initial rule from 1996 to 2001, which was infamous for their treatment of women and girls, as well as a brutal justice system. The group has repeatedly promised a more tolerant brand of governance compared with their first stint in power.